The early streamer gets the worm. Recursive loop, baby, 23 months. Ladies, and gentlemen, I guess, even though it's probably 90% ladies in here. Welcome to the Atrioc broadcast on March 5th, 2025. Good to see you, good to see you, good to see you. Good to fucking see you. How the hell are you? Good to fucking see you. Really big, busy day for me. Makes you want to cock back the hammer. Big, busy fucking day. Lot I had to do. I had to film something. I did a little I was on Squeaks' stream, did a little podcast. Talked about Clancyville and the funding I'm raising to help starving children there. And now I'm live early. So I think there's going to be some really cool stuff coming here in the near future. But if you didn't watch me on Squeaks' stream, it was pretty fun. Worth checking out. He also did a really fun, interesting talk with Dr. K, who's a guy I like. So that's all what happened. How are you guys doing? Shinyoblinix, thank you for the 17 months. Thank you for standing up for the people of Clancyville. Listen, thank you for saying this. I feel like I'm the only warrior for the downtrodden regular folk of Clancyville. I feel like their voices are unheard. The media has silenced them. They are left to struggle and die and just be despondent on their own. And only one voice is speaking out bravely to like say, hey, these people deserve better. And that's me. Okay? That is me. I really feel for the Clancyville citizens. Your kid will have a military father like you did. Are you saying I'm going to join the military? What are you trying to say? I'm not joining the fucking military. Oh, you mean like the military revolution against Clancyville? Yeah, I guess. I guess I will. I mean, we're all going to have to take up arms. You know what I'm saying? We're all going to have to take up arms to fight against... I'm going to do one of these. Wait, what's this? Oh, the one-handed? To fight against Clancyville. Boop, boop. Is that a new whistle? Yeah, it's a new train whistle. Bro got the gat. Just smallest LA gun. Big A, I'm a refugee from Clancyville. Is this safe space from his tyranny? Nowhere is truly safe from the long arm of Dan Clancy's law. But at least around here, we are willing to fight. You know, we're willing to stand up and let our voices be heard. Fight. That's what we always say. That's what we always say here on the Atrioc stream. Fight. How the hell are you, Chad? What's going fucking on? It's a beautiful Wednesday in the great year of our Lord 2025, a year that has no problems, a year that's been kind of passing the vibe check. Tech Tyrant, thank you for the 24 months. I'm good. Thanks for asking. Oh, no problem. I'm glad to hear that. I'm fucking glad to hear that. Who had something good happen to them today? One good thing that happened to one person today, and we'll collectively leech off of your joy. Okay? So you tell us something good, and then we'll read it, and then we'll all absorb that joy. I broke my arm. Not a good thing. Not a good thing. I got a strawberry donut. Now, that's a great thing. Imagine us all eating a delicious strawberry donut right now. Yum. W. Fucking tasty. Yes, that's a huge thing. That's great. That's yummers indeed. I eat a bag of cereals, no milk. Okay. Not quite the strawberry donut, but tasty. I've done that myself. I've had an extremely Tasty bag of Golden Grams. Could be on a wrong path, but you could be fine. Friend came over to house for pizza, lunch, and couple of beers. Made my day, not gonna lie. That is what makes all of our days. Do you understand that that is not a part of life? That is the purpose of life. To get your friends and hang out and share food. And that's the whole point. That's the entire point of the whole thing. That's why we do this whole crazy experiment. Anyway, congrats. That sounds really fun. You know, I talked with some friends today about an article that I read. I don't go too into it, but it was from Business Insider, I believe. And it was about the rise of not cancel culture, cancellation culture. Can I show this right here? Cancellation culture. Basically the idea that post-pandemic, people are way flakier. People are way, way flakier. They really are constantly searching for an excuse to not go to things. But the flip side of it is they don't like themselves for not going to things. Like in the moment, they feel good about canceling, but over the course of weeks and months, they start to feel really lonely. And that's, I think that was a really powerful article. I thought it was fascinating. I mean, it talks about, rising hours spent alone. There's a great quote that I really wanted to highlight. The great quote is this: "We have placed comfort and convenience on a pedestal that it does not need to be on." Actually, in the long run, it makes us more uncomfortable because we don't really have others to be with. I think that's so fire. I mean, I think I've been there many times where it's like you're on the couch or you're relaxing or I'm playing fucking TFT and like I cancel on something because in the moment it feels so good. It's more comfortable and convenient. But there's clearly a regret and clearly a lost opportunity. Also, worth saying, I was talking with people today about this. One of those people said, a good point, which is that like every time you actually end up going to things, you almost never regret it. Like if you actually make the effort, you're like, fine, I'm going to do it. And then you go out, it's like, oh, you have a good time. It's just that part before you go, before you do the thing where your brain is like at maximum comfort seeking. I think that's interesting and worth discussing, I cancel on plans to be here in chat. Well, that's okay. That's okay. Because we're best friends. So when you cancel on your fake real life friends and spend more time with me, your best friend, then it's like, that just makes sense. That's just a good use of your time. You want to invest in the most important relationships in your life. I canceled a funeral to play TFT and I got bought for all games today. I'm so happy. You're cooked. What do you mean you canceled a funeral? You could say you canceled on going to a funeral. What do you mean you canceled a funeral? Like you were going to have a funeral for your Nana and then you said, nah, nobody show up. We're canceling it. What are you trying to say? That you just didn't have the funeral so that you could play TFT? Poorly? She's back. Maybe your Nana came back and got top 4 in all those games. Took your elo. The vibes were mad mid, bro. What do you want me to do? How did you know the vibes of a funeral that you didn't go to and instead canceled? How did you pre-know the vibes? By the way, the goal of the funeral is usually not vibes. I don't know if you're aware of the purpose of the funeral. It's usually to mourn the dead. It's not usually to have a great fucking positive vibe. That's not, although I hope that my funeral, you guys are all going to my funeral, right? Won't be for a while. I was hoping the vibes would be immaculate. Like, I would hope you guys would, it'd almost be a celebration of life rather than a mourning of death. You know, I'm old enough that I've lived such a full life that, you know, we're at a pass. It would be not but a problem. Big A, you were here 1,000 years before us, and you will be here 1,000 years after. You know, if that were true, what a lonely existence. It really makes you think. It's like maybe living 2,000, 3,000 years isn't the boon we think it is. Maybe it's a curse. Maybe it's a destiny to never experience the same lust for life that those around you do. You're a true wanderer without a home. I mean, I feel like just yesterday I was hanging out with Julius Caesar and now he's fucking dead. How does that make me feel, dude? That guy was the fucking homie. That guy threw the best keggers in all of Rome. And now he's just fucking gone? Did I stab him in the back? Sure, fine. Yeah, but am I to be blamed for that? There was like a lot of knives. I wasn't the only one. I actually just got a little bit of the shoulder. He would have been fine if it was just me, but R.I.P. Caesar, you would have loved Marketing Mondays. You know, I think you would have. I think you would have. Is that arrogant to say that Julius Caesar would have watched every Marketing Monday with full retention? No. It's just factual. I think he would have watched him, and I think he would have had a Little Caesar's pizza when he did it. Justin Bieber asked, what did Justin Bieber say? Didn't Bieber say, like, he wrote in Anne Frank's logbook at the R.I.P. Anne Frank, if you were alive today, you would have been a believer. Which, by the way, he's probably not wrong. Can we just say he's probably not wrong? He's probably not wrong. Atrioc, what'd you do today? I can't tell you until tomorrow. Soon, but not today. I can't tell you what I did. But I did do one thing that I can tell you about, which is I went on Squeaks' stream and did a short little, you can almost call it a podcast. Oh, thank you, Warbone3K, for the gifties. Much appreciated. Yeah, we're talking about jobs, but not this week. Sorry, I'm sorry. It will be next week. But if you check it out, it was fun. I had a good talk with Squeaks. I like that guy. I hate his hairline. Yuck. Ugh. But everything else about him I like. I love his politics. Basically, his constant obsession with January 6th and getting revenge on those who locked him up afterwards, I think is what we need in this country. I think we need more patriots like that. And so I just feel like I learn a lot from him. He really has a passion, a zeal for honestly just assaulting the Capitol. I don't even think he cared about the election. I think he just has a true passion for assaulting government buildings. And I think that's fucking awesome. I think it's always cool to hear someone talk about a hobby they're really into. He's just a history buff. It's really bad that some people don't know that you're kidding. I'm not kidding. Why would you say that? I'm not kidding. I'm being dead serious. And I would appreciate it if you didn't put words in my mouth. I'm taking a really serious stance here. So, come on now. Anyway, it's good to see you all. I'm very happy to have a little broadcast today. Might play a little bit of games, might react to a couple of YouTube videos, and might, actually certainly will, end the stream with a house episode. I have a presentation, but I don't think I'm going to deliver it today. Actually, I know I'm not going to, so I'll just tell you that I'm not going to. Because I did a lot of things today, and I don't want to do it. So I won't. So I fucking won't. But there'll be a lot to do, and it's not like it's extremely time sensitive. It'll be great when you see it. Hard work being a streamer. You know what? On exactly today it was. Most of the time it's not. Today it was. Hey, Shrek, I work in the environmental sector. If we're going to take an ESG or greenwashing, the recent anti-DI culture shift might affect them. I did a video on this that you might. Red Bull gives you wings. It's your name. Your name is Red Bull gives you wings. That feels targeted. That feels targeted. Anyway, I made a video called Exxon, How Big Oil Bought Gaming. And I talk about ESG and greenwashing and how, you know, many of the stocks in these so-called ESG funds are just like ExxonMobil or like Saudi Aramco. It's just a way for people to get money in things that make money with a different name. So, worth reading. I'll be using my Clancyville 30 minutes allotted internet time to watch Big A. That's the greatest form of revolution. Small actions are revolution. Beef jerky rules. Okay, under Dan Clancy's thumb, it is not safe often to openly protest, but little actions like using your allotted time to watch Big A can add up to a big impact. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can bring down this tyrant. We can weaken Dan. When Valve was making Half-Life 2, they looked at Clancyville for inspiration for City 17. Dude, it would slay me. It would save the Reddit if somebody made a video of Gordon Freeman getting off the train in City 17, and instead of Dr. Bream, it's Dan Clancy. It would save the Reddit. Do you understand that? It would be our one chance to turn that fucking den of thieves around. Hey, little Runky, I want to say thank you for that 3 months. Everyone in my family thinks me and my husband are so knowledgeable about current events. Gotta give your stream credit. I appreciate that. I hope that at the next Thanksgiving, you unprompted crash out against German anti-nuclear environmentalists for 45 minutes to an hour. I think that would be fucking fire if you and your husband did that, little Runky. Legitimately we have? That's so fucking based. That's so fucking based. Do you ever feel like you're the Jon Stewart of Twitch? No, but I do like Jon Stewart. I do like, it's funny. I was talking with, the people behind the Big A Awards, and I was trying to give them an idea I had. And I was like, have you ever seen Jon Stewart? And they were all too young. They were, maybe one of them wasn't, but they were all basically too young. And I was like, damn. I just remember watching that shit when I mean, he's still doing it now, but like, I don't think people that watch him now, he doesn't have the same cultural cachet as like Bush era Jon Stewart. I watched it yesterday and I'm far younger than you. I'm not talking about modern Jon Stewart. And don't say you're far younger than me. All right. I'm pretty spry. Okay. Nobody here is far younger than me. We're all basically the same age. We're all basically the same age. There's no. We're all basically the same age. When did, you guys were all born before the Soviet Union collapsed, right? Like, you guys were all born when the Soviet Union was still on maps. Right? Good. And then we're all the same. We're all the same. We're all the same. We're all locked in. By the way, the Soviet Union collapsing will be the modern day version of Clancyville's fall. Okay? He is something like the fucking Gorbachev. The Pizza Hut guy? Yeah. In that they both love Pizza Hut. That's their biggest. Mr. Clancy, tear down this firewall. That's so based. +2. Plus fucking 2. I thought Gorbachev was the chill one. Yeah, it's complicated. But Gorbachev was the last one, is why I'm bringing it up. He was the one. Actually, it's very interesting. So there was like a soft coup against Gorbachev where they put him under house arrest. And then they got on TV. It's like this committee of older Soviet types that were like trying to be more hardline. And they got on TV and they're like, we're going to bring this country back to original Soviet values. And everyone was kind of like, nah. Nah, you're not. We're not going to listen. And, Yeltsin specifically, like, totally ignored the tanks and the soldiers that were part of it. And then the vibe just shifted. And then they freed Gorbachev, and he gets out of house arrest, and he's like, all right, well, I'm back, ready to run the Soviet Union. They're like, nah, bro, it's over. I mean, that's the long and short of it. It's just funny. So Gorbachev didn't do the coup, but he was the one couped against, and the coup was put down, but then it still was over. So you losing ads is the equivalent to house arrest. In a way. I'm definitely getting politically persecuted. There's no doubt about that. We can all agree on that. That Dan Clancy is running a fucking a game of liar's poker, where he holds all the cards, and I'm sort of the rebel without a cause, fighting against it. Did you see that McDonald's is no longer the largest fast food chain? Aw. Is it the Chinese boba place? It is. Yeah, I heard about this from Stefik, our Was Up Beijing researcher. Yeah, China's Mixu is now larger. Two big capitalist dubs for China recently, which they had the largest grossing animated movie in human history, and now they've passed the largest food and drink chain with pretty crazy. Subway was already bigger than McDonald's. I guess I don't know how they're counting biggest. Subway had more locations, but I believe it dipped back under. I think Subway's going through a bit of a rough patch post-acquisition. Speaking of going through a rough patch, are any of you guys Starbucks drinkers? I'm not, because I don't like coffee. Is anybody a Starbucks drinker? A lot of no's. Nobody, no. Is this one of those things where people are Starbucks drinkers, but they don't admit to it because it's not part of your identity, but you do often go to a Starbucks? Like there's a Starbucks near you and you regularly go there, but you're not a Starbucks drinker. Is that? Okay. Well, anyway, I wanted to ask what your thoughts were because Starbucks, as of like late last year, was plummeting. Stock was doing horribly. CEO was doing a bad job. Just a total downturn. A lot of rising competition. We talked about this in a video. The coffee wars were really in flux, where Dutch Bros was rising, tons of small competitors, all that. Well, they got a new CEO. And aside from the normal things CEOs do, which is lay off a bunch of people, which he did do, he also made a bunch of changes that have so far been working. And I wanted to ask Starbucks users if they've noticed. You might have noticed, for example, they simplified the menu. Starbucks this year cut like a third of their menu items so they could focus on quality over quantity. They also nerfed the mobile rewards and the mobile app pay, but they wanted more in-store to bring back the experience. If you go in-store to a Starbucks, they now give you these fancy ceramic mugs instead of just the paper and plastic. They give you these nice cups. Now, you noticed it. Yeah, you've noticed it. And they're doing more ads. Anyway, it's all kind of somewhat working. Oh, also, you have to have noticed this. If you order at Starbucks, again, I do not do this. It's not a bit. I don't drink coffee. This is all research, but they're supposed to write you notes now. Can anyone confirm this? They're supposed to write you little notes on your cup now when you order in person. They're like mandatory. They did a training. Yep, they do this. Yeah, they write little smiley faces or like have a nice day or whatever. Yeah, they're so nice. I mean, I don't know. It's so sad that we are the nation where like a fucking minimum wage employee writing "Have a nice day" on a cup is like, yes. White people happy. I feel like we're so down bad for any human kindness or but it is a nice action. And apparently, my point is that if you were to check Starbucks revenue and Starbucks stock, it has had a remarkable 21% jump this year. During a time where the rest of the market, as you might be able to tell from the Doug stock competition, is not doing that great. Starbucks would have been like Starbucks up 21%. It would have been a top 4 stock pick in the whole thing. Isn't that crazy? So just a little bit shocking, a little bit interesting. And I for some reason, am fascinated by these coffee wars because it seems like Starbucks was like the aging dead giant last year. Now they're kind of having a little bit of a revolution. Now, I also want to say part of that was they laid off thousands of people. Like, let's not beat around the bush. They laid off a lot of people. That's also part of why, but there was some changes. Free refills on certain drinks and better matcha, though? Yeah, I mean, I think they've done some right choices. By the way, I don't know if you looked at this, but good goddamn, this is my largest lead yet. This is my largest lead yet of the whole fucking thing. This is crazy. Doug has 2 in the top 5, but you have 4 in the top 10. It's not about your biggest winner. It's about not having massive losers. It's not having so many losers. That's the trick of actual investing too. There's no point in catching one big wave if you're also going to have a ton of down ones. It's not, like, it doesn't matter what Ludwig does if you have Trump coin. Like, he actually made a great call on Nintendo. I think we all made fun of it, said it's already priced in. It wasn't priced in, dude. 27% jump. The market is clearly impressed with Nintendo's execution leading up to this Switch 2 launch. It was a good pick, but it doesn't matter if you have AMD, yuck, or Trump coin, or Occidental Petroleum. By the way, buying oil companies into a drill baby drill environment, I'll just tell you right now, maybe this will happen in 30 years for you. Stupid, always stupid. Drill baby drill floods the market with supply, assuming it actually happens, which actually hurts the profits of oil companies. They make their most money when supply is constrained. Like if OPEC were to go drill baby drill, it would harm OPEC's profits considerably. Learned that lesson with PEMCO a few years back. Yeah, exactly. Oil profits were highest during the start of the Russia-Ukraine war. Exactly. Because Russian supply got taken off the market, thus creating a supply-demand imbalance, thus creating massive profits. Do you follow NewScale? I'm new to investing. Listen to their Q4 earnings. It makes sense to me. One thing I would recommend, this is probably the best use I've found for ChatGPT, is feed the entire earnings transcript in there and try to ask it the questions you want to ask. I have not followed NewScale. I mean, I know of NewScale, but I didn't follow their earnings call. That shit's one of the best uses. It's actually such a great summarization tool and a really terrible thinking tool. But that's an actual use case. Earnings calls are really boring and have a lot of filler. And a lot of times they try to put in the filler to distract you from the one key thing that's important. Like if you were, I don't know, McDonald's, you'd be like, our new Happy Meal's coming out and people are really loving it. It has a really high social media buzz. Our revenue in the Northeast store sales is up 0.48%. There was a huge rat poison leak into their food. And also, Ronald McDonald's coming back. Like they try to sneak in the one bad thing amongst a bunch of. I've listened to a lot of earnings calls now, and they really try to. They try to pack it in with fluff. What are your thoughts on the Discord IPO? Discord have been trying to IPO since I worked at Twitch, bro. It's fucking 11 years now. If you guys don't know, an IPO is an initial public offering. That's where a company like Discord, it's a private company, goes public and you can buy stock in it on a stock exchange. Discord's problem is they don't have good revenue. They don't make any fucking money. The Discord store was a flop. Discord Nitro makes almost nothing. They haven't figured out how to like make ads. They just don't make a lot of money for what they are. And they've been trying to figure that out before they go public. So it has like a nice revenue growth, but they don't have it. So they're just going to do it. I guess they're just dump out. The investors are tired of waiting. I don't know. I do think people use Discord all the fucking time. If someone had the right idea, they could. Here's the problem though. This has happened a million times in history. There's a cool tech thing that everyone's using. Somebody goes, all right, all we have to do is monetize those users. So they buy it and then they start making it worse. They start inshitifying it to make a profit. And then everyone goes, wait, this sucks now. And then they move on to the next thing that's fucking free or whatever. So there's a real case of Discord headed towards enshittification as they try to capture some value from the audience they have. How would you monetize it? I guess what I would do is I would have Discord secretly keep track of every stupid, idiotic thing you say, and then send you a threatening private message saying we're going to leak it to the public unless you pay us money directly. I would make Discord a blackmail-based service. Like I would find the general chat message where you go, yawn, this kitty's eepy. And then I would say, we're going to send that to your friends and family unless you, that would be my, I don't know what I would do for monetization on Discord. Ads would make it shitty. Nitro doesn't seem to get paid for. I mean, you have to find some way to making some higher tier service that's worth paying for, I guess, but I don't know what would be in it. You see the guy that used AI to cheat on coding interviews? Oh, yeah, I saw this guy. This guy used AI to pass an interview for Amazon, then sent them an email telling them what he did and saying, fuck you, I'm not taking the job. And then they sent a letter to his school trying to get him in trouble. I believe is what happened. Amazon like got so mad they tried to like. Did he get expelled? That's crazy. That's fucking embarrassing for Amazon. What's this? A Reddit post? You still use old.reddit.com? It's so... I've been wondering Atrioc's opinion on this is. He mentioned recently that he was unhappy with Biden's national debt. However, he's borrowed the least by percentage in the last 20 years. It just seems bigger as much as already been borrowed. So, I'm looking at this chart, and I feel like it has been cut off inappropriately. Joe Biden is in the top 10 highest debt increases of all time for presidents. And what I'm really talking about is this, because there's a lot of games you can play by using GDP as percentage of GDP, yada, yada, yada. What I'm really talking about is this, okay? This. I'm not particularly uniquely mad at Biden. I am mad at every politician since Reagan, except for Clinton right here. As this chart gets more and more unhinged. Now, again, this 2021 budget is Biden, and it's outside of Trump's 2020 is our worst deficit ever. And the next year, he sort of brought it back to being the worst deficit since the financial crisis. And then in 23 and 24, it got worse again. It wasn't like it started back up and so you know what I'm saying? Can you really blame Obama? Yes, I can, I will, and I do. Every president has been reluctant to ever take any pain, especially to the financial sector, during their term. So things constantly get bailed out. So the problem gets bigger for the next generation, the next president. And the bailouts have to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And the asset price inflation gets more and more extreme. And the regular person gets more and more priced out of buying stocks or housing. That's my stance. I'm not particularly uniquely mad at Biden, but I don't let him off the hook at all, especially for his 23 and 24 budgets, which got significantly worse during a time where he was saying the economy was quote unquote good. He had wartime. He had World War II era budgets during a time where he was like, everything's good. Unemployment's down. So that's my answer to that question. Hopefully that's succinct enough. I honestly just want to know how this will affect LeBron's legacy. Can I just say this? I'm the world's biggest LeBron glazer. His legacy is secure. Bro is 40 fucking years old out there hustling. Out there. It's insane. He's in year 22. Does he lie about reading books? Sure. Fucking sure. But come on. How can you not appreciate greatness? Dude, I saw a tweet today that's like, I don't know how you could explain it better than this. I think Jaywitt sent me this. Okay, JJ Redick is a NBA veteran, great player, and now the Lakers coach. When JJ Redick was in college, LeBron was in the league averaging 27, 7, and 7. When JJ Redick was a rookie, LeBron was in the league averaging 27, 7, and 6. When he was a starter, LeBron was averaging 27, 7, and 6. When in his 15-year career, his celebrated NBA career, LeBron was averaging 25, 8, 8, and 8. Then when he became a podcaster, LeBron was still 26, 8, and 7. And now he's his coach, and LeBron is still there doing 25, 9, 8. He was there before Redick and is there after him and still putting up generational numbers. It's crazy. That's unheard of. That is true, incredible GOAT shit. So I'm just impressed, dude. I'm just impressed. Of course I fucking respect LeBron. And, you know, you're a Lakers fan this season. He's playing so incredibly good in his 40. He's 40 years old, bro. Stans is 32. And when he plays basketball, he's like, my hip. I'm not joking. I'm not exaggerating about that. Stans gets out there. He's like, I got to take a break, my hip. Okay, we're playing pickup ball. LeBron is out here at 40 in the NBA. It's just wild. It's impressive. Yeah, he spends a lot of money on his health, but it takes a level of dedication. By the way, he's also a billionaire. I just can't imagine a billionaire still wanting to give. There's so many NBA players who get their big paycheck and then coast. They just stop trying. They just stop putting in the effort. The guy's been doing this for 22 years and still does it. It's just an unreal level of dedication that I find so impressive. It inspires me to be a better man. Okay. It inspires me to get out there and do something, because it's like, damn, this guy's anyway, that's what I'm saying about Braun. Now, Brawny, he makes Braun look like a piece of shit. Brawny James, that's the future of the league, dude. That's a guy that honestly he's on another echelon, another tier. Oh, hey, man.
Hey.
Do you want to say hi to the chat? Are you looking for something?
Did you take my umbrella?
Yeah.
Where is it?
I think it's in the car, the back seat. I'll put it back. Sorry.
Well, but I need to get there.
Sorry. I did take her umbrella, and then I left it in the car. Yikes. Bad husband alert. What do you guys think I should do? I think there's two options. One is I talk to her normally and I apologize and say, sorry, I wasn't thinking. Or option two, I stonewall her. Don't mention anything. Never give up any ground. Don't apologize. I gaslight her. I actually think it's her fault. I blame her for not organizing the umbrella better. And then after months of doing this, I throw her a surprise party. She doesn't like those. A big ostentatious gift to try and make up for it all. Is that a good idea? That would probably be better. Cool. That's great. Thanks, guys, for your help. Didn't realize you were a one umbrella family. Are you poor shaming me for having one umbrella? It's LA. It rains like fucking never. We're not going to be a two umbrella LA family. Times that tough, bro? Yeah, they are that tough. If you want to help me out so the rain doesn't crush me and just leave me soaking wet, please leave a prime. Thank you, Nicario, for the 55 months. That money will go towards the second umbrella. Thank you, Let's Talk Gaming Tonight, for the prime. Thank you, Hot Potato 9001 for the 5 months. Lil Bro is soaking wet. Yeah, thank you. I really need this umbrella fund, and it's really appreciative. I'm very appreciative of your contribution. Elaborate Ruse, thank you for the prime. Just Brand, thank you for the 17. Eric J, thank you for the prime. Cinnabunny, thank you for the 5 months. Z Luds, thank you for the 5 gifted. I'm going to get a nice umbrella. I was going to get one of the cheap ones. Now I'm going to get a fucking nice umbrella. I'll never be able to use it because it's sunny, 72 and sunny every single day. But did you end up hitting Masters in TFT? I fucking did. Thank you to the help of Send TFT, my new goat. He actually uploaded our game onto his YouTube channel. It's called Atrioc DM'd me to coach him. We got him to Masters. And the comments are really nice. People just being like, wow, what a crazy collab. What a crossover. Didn't expect it. They also made fun of my mechanics. The top comment, the pinned comment, fight, is there's no way Atrioc is higher elo than me with the grandpa mechanics crying. And then he's crying 4 times. Unk still got it. How is that? There's not even mechanics. It's TFT. Yeah, I was a little slow on the reroll. No need to make a scene about it. Anyway, it was fun. I chopped into his stream the other day, and I said, if you really believe in me, let me pick your next augment. And I picked the dumbest one, and he turned it into a first, and he probably got a video out of it, so it's going to come out soon. I don't know what that means, but I'm happy for you, son. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Paul. Anyway, enough about TFT. Let's talk about something more important. Well, I talked about Starbucks already, didn't I? What else could be more important than that? Let's talk about... did you see they give a break on tariffs for Ford and GM? Yeah, dude. Because... Can I get a good map of fucking North America, please? Here we go. How do you draw on this? Copy? Paint? It's like, dude, if you're making a car in North America, even at a fucking Ford plant or whatever, okay, right here, you like ship the engine here to get the pistons added, then ship it back here to get the steel changed out, and then it goes to fucking Mexico to add the tires or whatever, and then it goes, do you know what I'm saying? Like the car crosses the border like 7 times before it's done. And so the tariffs were getting applied every time. It was literally impossible for auto manufacturers in North America to function. So they did an exemption for autos today because it was like just a disaster. Where's the Gulf of America? Oh, dear God. Woke map? Woke map? USA, baby. Thank God. Thank fucking God. And this should be the North... Well, this should be the Trump Ocean. Trump Ocean. Okay. And the Caribbean Sea just sounds wrong. It should be the no DEI Sea. Okay. That's pretty good. The anti-woke sea. Where is Mount Trump? I think you should buy Mount Everest and rename it Mount Trump. Anyway, this map's pretty out of date. You know, we're going to need to expand the border up here a bit. Don't make the first day joke is beneath you. So funny that I was talking with someone about this today. I was talking with a Canadian about this today, and they were like I really liked the 51st Date jokes until Trump started repeating them so much. And now I'm like, I don't like the jokes anymore. I actually think we should stop doing them. Which is fair. Which is fair. I think in good faith, I am not trying to launch an invasion into Canada. But I do see how it would be annoying to have your southern neighbor question your sovereignty openly when you don't have nuclear weapons. But however, it happens to me all the time with Dan Clancy, and I don't fucking make jokes about it. So I constantly have Dan Clancy talking about, haha, what if we annexed your house and put it into Clancyville? And it's like, Clancy, that's not funny. But you have nukes, though? Call them left and right. Yeah, Dan Clancy's great. He's just a really, 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 really devoted leader, you know, to his town. And that could be admirable to some. I had to tell my boy he had to think more about his edgy jokes because nowadays just sound like actual things people say. This happened to me recently. How did this happen to me? Oh, it was at Genesis. It was at Genesis where I was walking around with the fucking Let's Go Brandon, with my Let's Go Brandon flask. Because Evan Gow gave this to me. I thought it was so funny. So I'm like taking swigs out of my Let's Go Brandon flask. And then I was like, wait a minute. Like, this is easily misinterpreted. This easily is misinterpreted. It's not like, to me, it's an obvious joke, but if you don't know me. Yeah, I'm too MAGA coated with this fucking flannel. Genuine question, Big A. Everything I learned about America and its economy just paints a bleak picture of the future. And as an outside observer, I feel like I'd like to go anywhere else but America right now. Have you ever thought about immigrating to another country? Just interesting because you seem quite calm, confident. Well, first of all, let me say that my situation economically is not standard. Okay? So it's a little easier for me to be calm and confident. I have to just admit that up front because if you don't talk about it, it's insane to ignore. But what I want to say is I want to be real here. You know, I haven't seriously looked into leaving the country, as I mentioned with that Aiden and I talk show we did. You know, I'm generally of the opinion that I want to stay in America and try to fight for America and try to make it better. And I feel American, you know, just even though I grew up in different countries, I feel American. The one thing that made me seriously consider it was this strategic crypto reserve. If that actually happens, right now it's just a tweet. There's no evidence that it's going to get created or they're going to spend taxpayer money on it. But if that actually happens, it would again cause me to I'm less concerned about where I live and more of like I would need to reduce my exposure to the dollar extremely. If I saw that US dollars were being printed or borrowed to buy crypto, I would just do whatever I can to get out of the US financial system. Because I wouldn't trust it. But however, my longer point is this. I need to be real here. If you are leaving America to search for this glorious, better economy, you're going to have a harder time finding it than you think. The slowdown problems are worldwide. If you're in Canada, they are pissed about their economy right now. If you're in Mexico, they're pissed about their economy. I mean, yes, they are. There's things that are more uptrendy in certain parts. If you're in Australia, if you're in the UK, if you're in Germany, if you're in even France, there's nice things about France, but still, everyone is feeling an economic malaise, a slowdown, harder to get jobs, expensive housing. The Nordic countries, they're still pissed about certain changes, but they have a little bit of safety net. They're harder to get citizenship in. It's difficult for you to go live in Norway and get a part of that sovereign wealth fund, okay? So, I just want you to know that it's not like it's like America is doing terribly and everyone else is rosy. It's like we're at the end of a global debt cycle that's like, now everything's all creaky and bad and your back hurts. And the problems are starting to mount, which is leading to like political change and stressful time. It's an unfortunate period to get hot potatoed into. You guys should have been born as a 70s straight white male. That would have been a really good choice in America. It would have been you would have had a much easier 30, 40 years. But you kind of fucked that one up. But I do believe we'll figure it all out. Not that it won't be messy in the middle, but I do believe we'll figure it all out. Humanity's done it before in much worse spots. Have you seen or spoken about this? What's this? Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, there's a larger thing I want to talk about, which is that, so Canada went to the UK a Canadian politician, I want to say Canada, but a Canadian politician is going to the UK to begin talks to explore getting Canada under the British nuclear umbrella because they want nuclear protection from America. Like, they're literally trying to have France and the UK sign a deal that would offer them nuclear protection from their southern neighbor, which is just a truly crazy thought. An absolutely astronomically crazy thought from just 2 years ago. The idea that Canada would have allies ready to nuke America where they get invaded, it's just crazy. I mean, it's like, I would never have thought we'd get here. What you spoke about is a larger trend of militarization among Europe. So we've talked about the debt break in Germany. Maybe not enough, but we've talked about it. And it's the idea that in Germany, they have a really, really strict rule on government spending, where you can't spend more than a certain amount of GDP in debt. So because of that, Germany has one of the lowest debt levels in all of Europe and all of the world, really. Their debt to GDP is shockingly low for a big Western developed nation. But it's caused issues because they've been very difficult to reinvest in their own infrastructure. Germany has a lot of crumbling roads, crumbling just infrastructure, bridges, ports, power lines. All that stuff is in trouble. And they want to reinvest in it. Well, the debt break just got relaxed for the first time. I don't know if it's passed yet, but they're pushing for it. Today, or yesterday, to do a huge European defense fund. Germany's spending like 500 billion euros, something wild, on a huge remilitarization effort, which of course always ends well. I've never seen a German rearmament that hasn't gone swimmingly for the world, but this is happening. Did you see the EU clean industrial deal about onshoring energy production? Seems good. No, I'll have to read about it. I'll have to check about it. America is an incredible place to be rich, but it kind of sucks to be normal. In lots of Europe, it's less exciting to be rich and harder to get there, but so much more comfortable and stress-free to be normal. My family is French, and I see struggles in France, but no one's sitting on a pile of useless debt like the majority of people around me at my age. Education, medical care, and decent food aren't problems like they are here. I think they both have problematic sides. I'm not trying to both sides it here. I just think it gets painted that way a lot, but they both create stresses and cracks in the system that eventually have to be resolved. I do like France's system, but it's also running into its own challenges. Namely, they have a aging, less productive society that is now falling behind in competitiveness in a lot of things that is eventually going to break down the system that created the wealth that allowed for these social safety nets to begin with. And so things that the government is trying to do to fix that, like raising the retirement age, are causing riots in France. You know, they're causing big problems, and there's no easy way to fix it. Additionally, they also have massive debt. Like, they have their own, the country as well as America has massive debt that the country is now trying to figure out how to pay. You can do it by raising taxes, but if the tax burden falls on regular people, they're already not getting paid as well. So they have their own problems. I don't know the solution here. There's different tactics, and they're all running into problems, but I would be careful to frame it as like one side has it figured out. Isn't the militarization of other countries actually not as bad as you think in order to have more... I don't have a thought on it yet. No. Believe me, I'm not... I'm sort of making a joke about Germany's past tendency to militarize and then cause problems. I'm not saying that'll happen this time. I'm just saying there's a history of that happening. What I think about it in general is that the globe getting more militarized is probably bad. Ideally, we'd all spend less on our military and have no major global conflicts because they all end in death and disaster and It's also unproductive spending, right? If a country is spending a lot of money on the military, that doesn't actually do anything. You know, it's just you're paying for a missile to blow something up. It doesn't. There's no return on that investment. So you do it because you have to, but it's not a great use of all your money. As Russian economy will tell you right now. What if all conflict were resolved in a game of hockey? Canadian dream. The fucking Canadian dream. This is Trudeau talking to Trump in 2 years as a last-ditch effort. Forget this invasion. Just one big game of hockey. It would be funny if it was like Minecraft parkour civilization, but it's like world hockey civilization, and the Canadian Empire just dominates the globe. Just a fucking endless invasion of Canadian hockey players with like a fucking Wayne Gretzky flag. We need some new wars so we can have more new stuff for Call of Duty games to save Activision. I've never thought about that. I never thought about the poor developers at Activision. Can you imagine how fire it's going to be to have a Call of Duty game come out about the war you're currently serving in? Imagine being a Zoomer drafted into World War III, and while you're at the barracks, you get to play the COD for the war that you're in. That's so fucking lucky. No one ever got that before. That's fucking badass. They better get some good kill streaks instead of just 10 different drones, though. So true, so facts. Do you think they'll make a Ukraine versus Russia game? No. Fucking hope not. Fucking hope not. I guess it all gets commoditized eventually, so maybe. Maybe, honestly, maybe. But I hope not. Actually, I'm going to be dead honest with you. If the war in Ukraine ended today, 3 to 5 years from now, having a game about it, I think is so normal it would happen. I actually think that would 100% happen. That's actually not... That's actually... I shouldn't have any faith that wouldn't happen. That would happen. Didn't they make a Nicolas Cage movie about 9/11 like a year after 9/11? Am I crazy? Wasn't there a 9/11 Hollywood movie with Nicolas Cage? When did that happen? Nicolas Cage 9/11 movie. 2006. Okay, 5 years after. So right about this, yeah. 5 years after 9/11, there was a Nick Cage 9/11 movie. Was it tasteful or like a comedy? There's a fucking middle ground. It wasn't tasteful, I think, to have a 9/11 movie 5 years after. It wasn't an open comedy. It wasn't like Nicolas Cage being like, what are those planes doing? Oh! And like, you know what I'm saying? It's absurd. No, it wasn't. It was a serious movie, but it wasn't tasteful to do. They're already making Luigi Mangione documentaries, and it happened just 4 months ago. Yeah, I mean, the pipeline from event happening in real life to like streaming service special documentary on it has gotten shockingly short. It's like instant. It's instant. It's like it's within a week they get them out. Yeah, the story's not even over. Hey, Truck, YouTube Frog here. I made my New Year's resolution to move out by the end of the year. I have virtually no savings yet. Do you think it's possible? When you say moving out, do you mean out of your parents' house or out of the country? If I want to be honest with you, my advice would be to consider alternatives, especially if you're young. You know, finding a way to save money to give yourself a little bit more security on moving out is not a bad idea. I would tell you more to like take advantage if you have a place to stay, maybe with your parents or whatever. By the way, more time with your parents fucking rules. I talked about this before, but the idea that I see my parents once or twice a year and therefore have a specific number of times I will see them before they die, like maybe it's 50, maybe it's 30, whatever. It's like, it's insane. It's like, it's a scary, scary thought. And I would love to be able to spend tons of time with them and live with them. It would be great. It would be awesome. It just doesn't work out like that with me having a wife of my own now. But, so I guess I would say it may seem like chafing or bad while you're doing it, but you will probably not regret it. And money saved is awesome. But don't let me live your life for you. If you have your idea you want to do it. I just would say, you know, don't feel bad if you don't do it now. A little bit of planning and prep can go a long way, especially in a tumultuous time. Hey, Atrioc, I like this. We're going to do something else tonight. We are going to watch House tonight for sure. I don't know what else specifically. I do want to watch a YouTube video of something interesting. Maybe learn a thing or two. But my plan today was to do a presentation, and then I don't want to do it because I spent all day recording something, and I don't want to do that anymore, and I'm not in the mood. So, oh, is there a Voidzilla? I'll watch Coffeezilla talk about crypto scams any day of the fucking week. How is this legal? This looks great. Let's watch this. How is this legal? It's got Joe Rogan in it. How is this legal?
Pump and dumps. Why are they legal? Today, Elon Musk and Joe Rogan are going to tell us they...
Bro, Coffeezilla DM'd me and told me he bought my Enron merch. He specified mine, not the Enron company one. He said he bought both of them, but he also bought mine. And in every video, I never see him wear mine. In every video, he's wearing the other one, Enron merch. The one that launched a rug pull crypto token that he talked about. I launched no rug pull crypto tokens. And he sent me a picture. He actually did buy it, but he doesn't wear it. Yet? Don't say yet. Okay? If I wanted the rug pull, I would rug pull with the best of them. I'm not doing it. Actually, do you think Coffeezilla would make a cool video on me if I did do a rug pull? That'd be kind of fire. Cow coin? What if every cow coin you buy, we donate some of the profits to a needy cow? Or we give a cup of coffee to a cow? That way it's like there's social justice. And I'm the cow. All right, fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Answer.
The whole meme coin thing is bananas.
Yeah.
It is so bananas that people dump real money into these coins, and then you could just pump them up and sell them.
A casino or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's totally
And
gambling.
people just
I see this comparison a lot, guys. Yes, it's gambling in the way you don't know if you're going to win or lose, but it's not really like a casino where there are predetermined odds. This is a rigged game, much more in the likes of something like penny stocks, right? There are a bunch of boiler rooms back in the early 90s, thousands, where people would call you and they go, hey, I got this hot stock. You got to get in. You got to get. And all these people, they would tout these kind of little penny stocks. You'd buy in thinking.
Fucking Chrome, yet again, is fucking me. We'll put Firefox on. But yeah, that is what Wolf of Wall Street was about. Was penny stock pumpers. Why does it not fucking work? Firefox, you've disrespected me for the last time.
It is so bananas.
Game much more in the likes of, oh, I'm going to make money, and of course you lost a bunch of money. That's not the same thing as gambling, and meme coins are the same way. They're promoted. People buy in not fully understanding who's got all the supply, who's scamming them on the back end, and they're told that these are legitimate operations. So I just want to be clear, like,
I want to be clear as well, which is that you would have better odds in a casino than you would trying to win on a meme coin. If you're buying into meme coins where the fucking creators own 80% of the float and are sniping it, your odds of making any real money are virtually nil. You will always buy too late, and then the pump will be over and they'll sell into you.
Yes, it's gambling in the way you don't know if you're going to win or lose. It's not gambling in the way of the pump and dump part is completely different.
Like musical chairs and whoever's like the last to sit down loses type of thing.
And somehow or another, it's still legal.
Yeah, why?
Like that's
I
how.
mean, the thing is, I think not too many people. I mean,
I like that he's scratching his head. Like, how do I justify the U.S. government thinking this is cool to just allow more scams? The constant answer, by the way, this is what Malay said. Nobody actually invests in these things, right? Yeah, there were billions of dollars that flew into Trump coin, but nobody actually, I mean, not even that many. There's not, who even, it's just a casino. The cope is unreal. No, there is serious money flowing into meme coins. You can, say, make all the comparisons you want, but to say, oh, there's not that many. No, there are a lot of people. The Trump meme coin brought in 192,000 brand new people into crypto
Ludwig.
that were not in it previously.
Somehow or another, it's still legal. Like that's.
I mean, the thing is, I think not too many people. I mean, it's sort of like you go to the casino. Like if you expect to win at the casino, you're being a fool. Okay?
Right.
So I think if you expect to win at meme coins, you're being foolish. Yeah.
Now
This is so funny because he has pumped Dogecoin for years now. He's pumped it and pumped it and pumped it and pumped it and pumped it. And I think I told that story. The guy I met in Copenhagen, he was like a Riot employee that I met at the CS major, the CS2 major with Aiden, who was like, I've got a daughter on the way. He's a smart guy with a good job. He's a Riot employee. He's like, I got a daughter on the way. The biggest thing I'm invested in is Dogecoin. Like he just bought into the story that was being sold to him by Elon Musk. And people are saying smart in quotes, like, oh, you're so smarter. But that guy's a very successful, I don't want to give his exact job, but he's good. People around him respect him in his job. He's good at what he does. In other words, every other part of him was normal. But he's like, yeah, I've got a family and a daughter, and my biggest investment is Dogecoin. And it's just like, this level of hype and pumping and FOMO does draw people in, and they do lose real money.
Is true. If you think you're going to win at meme coins, that is foolish. It's just odd to me that we're trying to make as many of these mechanisms as possible. Like, look, everyone knows the lottery is a loser game. We also know it's a de facto tax on the poor because it's disproportionately the poor who engage in the lottery because they're looking for a way out. They're desperate. And so they play these types of games. So it's just weird for us to be like, yeah, we're just allowing more ways for your money to be siphoned off in our society, but you're stupid if you do the thing that we made legal and we're promoting all the time. It also strikes me as incredibly out of touch for people who are already well off and have won at the game of life to kind of puzzle over, like, why would anyone invest?
It's one of the most annoying things about Elon is just the context of you being the richest man in human history really undercuts when you say, like, these people need to work harder or these people need to, when you just talk about a fucking 9-to-5 government employee like he's so fucking lazy. And it's like, you tweet 4,000 times a week. You have 14 children and you're the richest man in human history. It doesn't. Or the thing that Elon said where he said, we're going to have to go through some economic pain It's like it's not pain for you. You're a government-connected billionaire. You're going to be fine. It's like when you're talking about people losing their jobs, it's not a we. Stop saying we.
Best in these things, in these moonshot tokens. Why would anybody put money into these dumb, like, basically scams? And the answer is because they are desperate, right? It is because they don't have, security, and they're, like, looking for basically a get-rich-quick scheme because they're not rich. And so people who are rich often go, what dumb people? I cannot understand why people would put money into this stuff. And it's like, yeah, because you're not in the situation. They're like looking up a mountain and they're going, how do I get up here? And then there's this guy promising a way out. And they're thinking to themselves, well, maybe, I don't know. Also, by the way, there also is a trend of financial nihilism, which says, and is encouraged by certain like powerful people.
Talking about this.
Hey, the game is rigged against you anyways, so don't even bother engaging with like serious investments. You might as well roll the dice on a meme coin. So while it is easy to like scoff at people who put their money into this stuff, we have to remember who is putting their money into this stuff. It is not.
I think I did a video when I was talking about the second time Roaring Kitty came back, and I just talked a lot about financial nihilism, which is just this pervasive sense among all young people that I can't get a house by normal means. The idea of working a job, getting promoted, saving money, and getting a house and a family is like out of the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gamble. I'm going to gamble on a meme coin, or I'm going to gamble on GME, or I'm going to gamble on AMC, or I'm going to gamble on actual gambling. I'm going to sports bet. Because you just do not, you're looking rationally at the world, and you're not seeing a clear path, and you're going on this YOLO. Now, I try to talk about this all the time because I think it's the most important thing I can talk about. It's the most, when I talk about like Klarna and I talk about this, it's because I think it's the most important thing I can talk about is just people realizing that those things are not going to work. You might see it work for a few people, but the odds are you are in a rigged casino and you will lose. And you'll actually be so much better off than you think. Just trying to stack some chips, dude, to be a little bit safer. Comparatively to all your peers, you'll be way better off if you just try to like be a little bit wiser and safer with the hard-earned money that you got. Anyway, parlays. Let's talk about our favorite ones.
The Joe Rogans of the world and the Elon Musks who are going to lose everything on meme coins. It is precisely the most desperate and most vulnerable people who are going to, and the most greedy. Okay, we can't forget there are lots of greedy people out there who are going to lose money, but there are a lot of vulnerable people who just fall into this stuff because they're looking for a way out.
Yeah.
But you're not going to win at meme coins. It's like but if you want, like, don't sink your life savings into a meme coin.
No, but you can gamble a little, and you can ride waves and win a little and lose a little.
If you want to have some fun, and don't come, then play with meme coins.
But if you put your family's if you put your family's wealth
on a meme coin
in the Hawk Tua
at the risk
coin,
of saying something bold and outrageous, don't bet the farm on a meme coin.
The weird one is the pump and dumps.
Here's where it gets interesting. Rogan brings up a good point. Not all these meme coins are just like decentralized, fun little Doge coins or something like that. A lot of them, there's a guy in the back of the room who like set up the whole thing, rigged it,
Dogecoin
and
is the
sell
people's
as soon
crypto.
As you buy it. Like it's like an outright scam. So they bring this up.
Sorry, wait, go back. I think the flat inflation of Dogecoin, which means decreasing percentage inflation, is a feature, not a bug. Dogecoin is the people's crypto. Bought some Dogecoin for Lil X so he can be a toddler hodler. Dogecoin might be my favorite cryptocurrency. It's pretty cool. Dogecoin rules. Dogecoin mode.
And I don't think the response is that great.
Like people
happen all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
And people get shocked that somebody pump and dumped. Like, what are you doing? Like, I was hoping to dump. I was hoping to make all the money out of this. I can't believe they got me. Like,
Yeah.
it's just weird that it's legal still.
Agreed.
I mean, casinos are legal.
Yeah.
And
It is
people
like a
just
casino.
lose money at casinos.
Yeah.
You know?
But you can't rig a casino, like a pump and dump.
Yeah, well
Right.
said, Joe Rogan.
It's not exactly the same, is it, when somebody is rigging a game versus there is a predetermined like chance and you're
Yeah, I mean, there's a gaming commission that constantly checks to make sure the odds aren't cheated in Vegas. You know you're a losing player. I mean, you know that they have the odds advantage, but if they try to make it worse, they try to make the roulette table tilted in their favor even more, it could be illegal. They could go to jail. They have to have published odds. There's none of that for crypto. You don't know what your odds are. You don't know. You don't know how rigged it is against you. You don't know how much is owned by snipers or by insiders.
agreeing and you go into it knowing the odds, right?
You could rig a pump and dump. You know,
Yeah, I guess so.
You guess so.
Why is it legal
like
then?
you could run a real pyramid scheme.
Well, I mean, the government's one big pyramid scheme, if you ask me.
Yeah.
What kind of answer is this? Hey, we're now allowed. By the way, they say it's still legal. Actually, pump and dumps weren't legal. They've kind of never been legal, and now we're making them de facto legal because we're not going to prosecute anyone. So this whole idea of like, why is it still legal? No, it sort of just became completely legal. And so now they're talking about, this is kind of weird. It's a little different than gambling. And then Elon's response is, well, the government's a scam. Oh, great. Aren't you the guy auditing the government? You are the government. Why are you? It's so weird for the guy to be auditing the government to believe the entire government is a scam. Strange.
Well, you can tell me better than anybody.
Social Security is the,
SBF must be pissed. He did it a little too early. Dude, SBF, if he has access to a phone regularly, must be just in fucking despondent that if he'd held out on his scam just a few more months, he would be a untouchable billionaire. If he had just juggled the books a little longer, he would be set for life still fucking polycules in the Bahamas. And instead, he's behind bars. It's so wild how that turned out.
biggest Ponzi scheme of all time.
What? So, okay, we're talking about the problem of people shamelessly just siphoning money from retail investors, right? And your response is, well, not that many people do it, and if they do, it's just like gambling. And if it's not just like gambling, well, yeah, it is what it is. Shouldn't have bet the farm. And your response to that is, but the safety net for retirement is a scam too, and a bigger. How is that a response? Look, you can have problems with Social Security. It's just like, it's not even close. It's not even the same world tree. Brother, these are literal, like, you call in, they trick you into investing, and they just steal your money. The other thing you're supposed to have.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, just to be clear, if you're young, you don't know what Social Security is, just to be clear, they take a little bit out of your paycheck for your whole life, Social Security, so that you have some money when you're old. It's almost like a forced retirement plan. And the reason it's not a Ponzi scheme, it's not a pyramid scheme, and it's not a scam. But the reason there's problems with it is that the funding for it may run out as our population pyramid gets more old and less young. Fewer young workers paying into it, more old people drawing out of it, it may run out. That's not a scam of the system. That is a result of our population pyramid, I guess, being bad. A pyramid scheme, I guess, in that way. And yes, there is a plan. I think Bernie Sanders advocated, I don't know who eventually wrote it, but he advocated for it, to reduce the cap on contribution, basically meaning that if you're a 400 billionaire, you have to pay a little bit more in to the Social Security, not just your normal amount, so that there's money left for all seniors. That's the idea. And that would fund Social Security for another 75 years, is the idea. But that doesn't currently exist. And the way the speech went yesterday, it feels like they're trying to cut Social Security. So I'm not a hundo P. I'm not a hundo P on where it's going. It is a discussion that has to be had, though. Either it has to be funded more or it has to be cut, because otherwise what's going to happen is it's going to keep rolling along fine for the boomers, and then the next generations are going to get in and not get anything, and they paid in their whole lives. That is going to be it. Like, Zoomers or millennials are going to find themselves old, and they've paid into it their entire lives, and there's not going to be money for them when they have to withdraw. And that is a disaster. And I do not want to fuck around and see boomers siphon the last wealth from Social Security when they had the greatest and easiest run of 30 years of all time. So either it needs to be funded, and it needs to start getting funded now with contributions from wealthy boomers or wealthy Gen Xers, or we need to figure out what we're going to do, because it is headed towards a really bad problem for people who are young right now, working hard and paying into it.
Have a retirement. It's so weird. This is like one of the most important guys in determining like the path forward, right? This is a thought leader here, and our thought leader is saying, oh, meme coins are fine because Social Security is a bigger scam, right? Pump and dumps are fine because your grandma's retirement plan was a scam too. It wasn't funded well. What is this thought process? That's, by the way, the end of the conversation. I know it seems like we should continue that conversation. No, they just kind of fall off on the, well, what do you mean by it's all a big Ponzi scheme? This conversation was painful, though, and it just goes into the mind of the people running the show. I mean, they just could not care less if you guys get scammed. It's a very odd thing, and there's a false equivocation between like regulated gambling in Vegas. By the way, they say gambling's legal. It's not legal everywhere, okay? I know we're pushing to make sports gambling.
Damn, he does kind of look like White Squeaks. Look and kind of sound in a way. I do. Can you see it? Someone in chat said it and I instantly noticed it. I do kind of feel like, do you think possibly Squeaks does whiteface at night and then does Coffeezilla videos? I was on Squeaks' stream today. He was talking about doing reverse Trudeau, which is just whiteface. Okay? And this could actually be a big break. I've never seen them in the same room. Cozy games during the day, fights crypto at night. It could actually all add up.
Legal everywhere, but it's not yet. It's kind of important.
I guess the worst result would be if Coffeezilla is doing brownface and pretending to be an Indian man named Squeaks. That would be pretty bad. If he was Rajular style, but I don't want to put that on coffee.
But meme coins are like, they're just not they're not regulated like gambling. They're allowed like the shameless pump and dump scams are just running. It's just a strange thing to watch, I guess, because we were all told like, well, we're going to get some actual rules of the road with crypto in this cycle.
Bro, I'm telling you, crypto's done unless they do this crypto fucking reserve. People are over it. The appetite for any, I'll say outside of Bitcoin. I don't fuck with Bitcoin, but I can at least see the arguments for it, yada, yada, yada. Outside of Bitcoin, it's fucking done. Unless they take the government money and pump the bags. It just feels like the fucking interest is so low. The people have been scammed so much. The new retail money into non-Bitcoin crypto is like dried up. It's done. So unless they pump fucking David Sachs's bags, David Sachs's sacks.
But instead of rules of the road, we just have no rules, and those are the rules of the road. That's what's very odd about this set of, the last 2 months is I thought we were just going to get a lot of regulatory clarity. That's what everyone kept telling me. Instead, the SEC just says like, oh, well, meme coins, we're not even going to try to regulate them because we don't even think they fall under our jurisdiction. So we thought we were going to be told the rules, and there are no rules. But it's fine because...
Tell them, Coffee. The people I love most in crypto are the people that say, you don't understand it until you've put in the requisite 100 hours of study. People are like, you don't get it. You haven't put in the 100 hours. And it's like, bro, we all get what you're doing. You are the same fucking desperate person trying to buy a fake token, hoping it goes up so you make money. I don't have to fucking read another white paper to understand the depths of your fucking plan. That's my dad. It's miserable. Yeah, it's such a transparent scheme. Holy paper hands. How do you keep saying everyone's a grifter? Not everyone in your life is a grifter, right? Not everyone here is a grifter. Most people are not grifters. I think we're going to build towards a society where people have more, I don't know, groups? What's the word for it? People have more social groups where they just can trust them. Almost like tribes, maybe. I don't know. Trusted groups, yeah, is the word. I think people are retreating back into trusted groups where they can have some sort of oversight over the code of conduct and consequences. Communities, sure, yeah, communities. Communities is a fun way to put it. And they're going to speak their thoughts more in private. And they're going to, I don't know. I think that is a trend we will head in. As it becomes increasingly obvious that nobody can make a dent in the social noise online. And there's so much danger in it. There's so much danger of getting scammed. There's so much danger of getting retribution. There's so much danger of getting publicly mocked or something. There's so much danger in it. As people are going to retreat into trusted groups and communities, and we'll bring back forums. I think this is going to happen. That's a prediction. We should be the crypto community. I think it'd be really dope if we all just got really heavy into crypto and started talking about cool coins. Have you talked about Casey Anthony's return to the public eye? Does that seem like up my alley? What are the topics we talked about? We talked about Germany remilitarizing. Talked about the UK nuclear umbrella for Canada. We talked about Starbucks' CEO's new revamp plan. We talked about crypto scams. And now you're talking about Casey Anthony as a fucking content creator. No, that's not my fucking shit. That's not my... Are you planning on playing Split Fiction? I asked Stans. If me and Stans can line up our schedule tomorrow, it'll be the first game day in a minute. Game day! Game day! Atrioc and Stans play Split Fiction! Game day! Game day! Atrioc and Stans play Split Fiction! It's gonna be fun! Fun friendship collab. Me and my oldest... in years and in duration of our friendship, friend Stans and I will get online together and play Split Fiction. It'll be really fun. He said he was going to play it with Rochelle. Maybe he said that before he got the invite from me, and then he ditched his wife. He said today at 6:02 p.m. I'm down. What time do you want to start? And I said, when's good for you? Which is a classic, like, hit the ball back over the net. You know? Let him figure it out. If he does end up playing with Rochelle, then I will just I'll either see if Ari wants to play, which I'd be down for, or I'll ask Aiden or someone else. I'll ask Aiden. Aiden said he wanted to come on stream again, so Squeaks, I think Squeaks has a partner in this do-si-do called Split Fiction. I think Squeaks Squeaks told me he's playing it with his secret wife. But he doesn't have a wife, so I don't know. I don't know if he's joking or he's playing it with his right hand. Yeah. Oh, maybe I'll get Linkus. Dude, what if I played it with I haven't played a game with Linkus in a while. What if it was fucking Linkus? That could be fun. Hey, buddy, I said secret wife. Bro's such a fucking lurker. Bro watches all my political streams and then sends me DMs afterwards saying I was really harsh on Donnie T. Every fucking day, I see fucking Squeaks in my DMs. Yeah, you really weren't fucking fair to Trump on that one. You really need to give the old Don more credit. DJ T and DJ Clancy are weak spots. A fucking men, bro. A fucking men. God damn. God damn. These DJs are out to get me. Dude, it's so annoying. I can't say who. I can't say who, and I can't say how the situation came up. But I played a song for a friend the other day about the revolution in Clancyville. And everyone was laughing at it. And then this guy's like, do you know Dan Clancy? And I was like, well, no, not really. But he's like, aren't you afraid he's going to ban you for harassment? And it's like, dude, I'm not harassing Dan Clancy. That's fucking crazy to say. If I make a Mark Zuckerberg is a lizard person joke, I shouldn't get banned from Instagram. Okay? We shouldn't live in a society where CEOs have that level of power over my voice. I'm making a joke about him owning a megacity. For legal reasons, it's a joke. For practical reasons, he does own this city. He does own a 14 million resident megacity bigger than Tokyo, where he rules it with an iron fist. Anyway, I heard from my the Big A Awards people that Dan Clancy was gonna be in the Big A Awards and then backed out, possibly because of the Clancyville thing. I actually didn't get a 100% answer on that, but that's unfortunate. All I want is to hear from Dan Clancy himself. Can you imagine how fucking hilarious it would be? I would become the world's biggest Dan Clancy glazer of all time if he sent me a video of his voice dubbed over Dr. Bream from City 17. Squeaks, can you imagine that? If he gave me the Dr. Bream speech for Clancyville, I would literally glaze Twitch 24/7. I would say he's the greatest CEO of all time. It would be the funniest fucking... I just feel like people don't understand how funny that would be and what goodwill you could create. Are you still planning to do best tweets for February? Yeah, probably. Oh, well, no, I'll just do... The tweets are always on a rolling 30-day basis, regardless of when I start. The fact that he took away your ads is crazy. Okay, to be clear, I don't think Dan Clancy personally took away my ads. I think my account, not by me, I promise you, not by me, I never added this, has been flagged as political and sensitive social issues. So now that it's been flagged as that, I can no longer get ads. But I don't know who, like some staff member had to do that. Bro Hassan gets ads? Well, then that's pretty fucked up. That's pretty fucked up. Because I'm not covering different events, bro. I'm not covering different events. I should be able to get the ads. Certainly on a day like today, where all I'm doing is sharing my thoughts on Clancyville, an important city, but not a political one. I think I should be able to get my money. I think I should be able to get my ads. Not that I really care. Honestly, I don't care about ads, but I will say that every time an ad runs, whether it's pre-roll or sent by me, people subscribe more. It just hurts your sub count to not have ads. I don't care about the ad revenue or ads themselves. It just automatically hurts your sub count. Not that it matters. I guess I'll survive. I guess I'll be okay. God, streamers have it so tough, though. I just think society should be structured in a way where streamers get a larger share of the pie. Is that crazy? I just feel like more of the rewards and the money in society should go not just to streamers, but like the higher end of the streamer. I just feel like it would help us a lot, but no, not small streamers. I think if you have under 5,000 subs, you should actually get a pay cut, and it should go more up the ladder. Damn, bro, want me to donate 30% of my minimum wage? Yuginex, I can't believe you'd say that. I want you to donate so much more than that. We joke, we kid. Trump's America. Comedy's legal again, folks. Sorry to say. Sorry if that offends you, but comedy's legal again, all right? I'm going to just drop these jokes. Set up a 501c3 so you can donate to yourself. I feel like that would be worth it. I feel like unless there's new revenue entering. I wonder if autistic people hate you. Sort Reddit by controversial. They certainly do. They certainly fucking do. All right, chat. Listen, it's 8:13. I actually am doing a slightly shorter stream today. Not that I'm ending now. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm going to watch something and then watch House. I'm not ending. We're going to watch something and then watch House. But I can't vibe it much more. I have to, honestly, spend a little time with Ari is what I got to do. So let's see. Is there anything interesting we could all watch? Wasn't there like a brand new video from... a brand new video from...
The tax cut.
That's not it. That's Donnie T. I just want to laugh or learn. Laugh or learn. Bro, I love this guy. Have we talked about awful coaching before? Awful coaching he used to fucking shit on LeBron so much, has become, and I think it's because he's fair, has become the world's greatest LeBron and Luka Glazer. And I just watch these and I smile. Well, he's going to start out by just screaming at the camera. Watch this.
Luka Doncic and LeBron James are making a joke out of NBA defenses here. Jackson Hayes is going to set a screen right here, but the second Luka notices Trey Murphy leaning towards this screen early, the very second, it's a blow by the other way. And no, look at lean towards the screen early. Now Luka's going to put you in jail right here. Keep you on his back, get into the paint right here, let you back in the play. Now you're flying to get back over the top, step back jumper. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel so we can break down historic greatness together.
I love this guy because he can go like 4 videos back and it's him being like, LeBron James is a war crime against the NBA. He is the worst player I've ever. I love this guy. He always makes me laugh. He always makes me laugh. He just says it like it is. New Jimmy High Roller? Wait. Is LeBron making Luka worse? Doesn't seem that interesting. You watched the China video on Nebula? I've watched some. I don't know what you're talking about. This video is extremely good. How to reduce salt. Are any of you guys Brennan Lee Mulligan fans? Me too. Me too. I like him. He apparently, him and his D&D crew just sold out Madison Square Garden for a D&D game. That's crazy. Dimension 20, that's what it is. They had literally a full packed Madison Square Garden watching them play D&D. What a world we're in. Can you imagine showing that to somebody in like even like early 2000s? That would be crazy. Let alone the 70s when the D&D was the nerdiest thing in the world. Has Iffy ever reached out again about going on Actually? He reached out when he was first setting up the season, but I think they got everything booked. I'll be honest with you, I also think it might be a little bit too controversial for for Dropout. I'm just going to keep it real. But Iffy's very nice, and I know him in person. I play Magic with him. But that's actually so fine for me. I think they have a great thing going. I'm not trying to like F with the vibe. I will just enjoy it. You're friends with Iffy? Yeah, we play Magic. I wouldn't say we're close friends, but we're part of the same Magic group. I also played Magic with God, I forget her name. Or their name, I'm sorry. Someone's gonna remember because I told you, but I forgot. Allie, yeah. Yeah, they were great. Really fun. Yeah, Allie Beardsley. Are you going on Coffeezilla's new podcast? Well, I don't know, maybe. Have you played with Jarvis and Jordan? Yeah, absolutely. Jarvis and I are close. We're gonna go to a Lakers game. Jarvis and I are both big Lakers fans. We're gonna go to probably the Nuggets. Do you know Jarvis and Jordan were both at Stan's wedding like 8, 9, 10 years ago? They're all coworkers at Patreon. We used to hang out just in San Francisco when we were like young employees. Back when Jarvis had braces. You talk a lot of shit on Canada for someone who wears plaid as much as you do. Fair. Fair. I fuck with some plaid, bro. I think plaid's more America coded, but If Canada likes plaid, then I like that part of Canada. Lake Show winning the ring this year. Adam Silver is sacrificing a goat to the devil right now to make this happen. And by that, I mean talking to the refs. Long, stern talks. Whether or not he wins, they want LeBron in the finals. The dream NBA secret dream finals is either Lakers-Celtics, storied rivalry, easy viewership, or Lakers-Cavs, and it's LeBron against his old team. And then it comes down to the finals. It's like tied 101-101 in the bottom of the fourth, game 7. And Braun has the ball, and he's about to win the game for the Lakers. And then he looks in the crowd and sees, some young kid from Akron, Ohio cheering for the Cavs. And then he tears up, and then he throws the ball into the stands. And the Cavs win. LeBron doesn't get the ring, but he gets the legend, okay? That's the... He throws it into the stands, bounces it off the kid's face, catches it again, drains it for 3, Lakers win. Kid's bawling. Yeah. Anyway, that's how I think it's going to happen. That's what I think is going to happen. Video on the biggest sports contract ever. Is this Otani? Well, I made a video about this too. There's also 40 minutes. I'm looking for a shorter video. I'm looking for like a... I'm looking for... There's one by TLDR News called Why the U.S. Economy is Suddenly Looking a Bit Shaky. Promise you it's not suddenly, but I'll watch it. Fireship? I think Fireship... Every second video from Fireship, I just find really not up my alley. Totally boring. Talking about replacing his entire tech stack with Postgres. It's not my thing. Not interested. Not up my alley. Fuck it.
For most of the past few years, America's economy has been the envy of the developed world. The US has enjoyed better GDP, productivity, and wage growth than basically every peer economy. And last year, inflation came down from its lofty highs, falling to a low of 2.4% year on year in September. However, all of a sudden, the American economy has started to look a bit shaky. Consumer confidence has apparently plummeted, the trade deficit is widening, and inflation is looking dangerously sticky. While we won't get the official data for a couple of weeks, the latest GDP Now forecast, a real-time...
I have to go to fucking Firefox again. I just can't wait. I can't watch a fucking YouTube video in Chrome.
For most of the past few years, America's economy... Year US Now forecast, is sticky. While we won't get the official data for a couple of weeks, the latest GDP Now forecast, a real-time estimate of GDP maintained by the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta, suggests that year-on-year US GDP is on track to shrink by an astonishing 2.8% in the first quarter.
Yikes!
So in this video, we're going to explain how and why the US economy has started to look a bit...
Someone said this is what happens when you make a nice economy mad. We should truly become an incel economy. We should become like the Joker economy. All it takes is one bad tariff.
Shaky. And how much of it has to do with Trump? Do you have questions about TLDR's bias? Watch us respond to your criticisms in a dedicated criticism response video. It's linked in the description. So, let's just get straight into it. Explain why the Atlanta Fed thinks the US is on the brink of a recession, if not in one already. In short, GDP is usually defined as the sum of 4 components: consumer spending, private sector investment, government spending, and net exports. And
they're jacking your shit.
Most of these have declined.
They're a few months late.
The biggest drop has apparently been in net exports, which is defined as exports minus imports. This is largely because the US has seen a steep increase in imports, presumably as a consequence of what's known as front-loading. Essentially, businesses are anticipating more...
Everyone just keeps doing fucking economy Joker lines. My father was a tariff. That's a stupid thing to say. It's a stupid thing to say, but I just can't help but laugh at it.
Or tariffs in the future. So they're importing all the stuff that they need now, i.e. front-loading, before the tariffs kick in. This means more imports without a corresponding increase in exports, which mathematically implies a lower value for net exports. This has all been exacerbated by the strength of the dollar at the moment, which has risen as investors expect tariffs to both invite further interest rate hikes and cripple other currencies.
Do you guys know if you take $1 and you blend it up into your protein smoothie, you will actually get stronger? Drinking dollar bills literally makes your muscles bigger and more effective. And it turns out if you drink Canadian dollars, your muscles shrivel up and die. If you try to drink a fucking euro, you actually atrophy your muscles.
Which has allowed the US to import more stuff. Now, to be fair, this is sort of what you'd expect before tariffs come into place, so it's not necessarily something that the current administration should really worry about. However, this isn't the only thing bringing the Atlanta Fed's GDP figure.
Was that worth pausing the video, Lil Pup? I think so. Chat, press 1 if that joke about the dollar shake made you laugh so hard you had tears in your eyes. You doubled over at your desk and you said, I don't know if I'll ever be able to breathe again from how hard that was. Well, at least a couple ones. So I think it was worth it. Was this pause worth it? No, but it's your fault because you made me crash out.
It's down. The other big thing in their data is the collapse of consumer spending, which was previously really quite strong in the US and had probably been the main reason the US outperformed other developed economies over the past few years.
So is he going to talk about this? Because I want to talk about this. We have had strong consumer spending that has been holding up the economy. But as I mentioned repeatedly on record, that consumer spending is done by the very wealthiest. Over half of consumer spending is driven by the top 10%. And the rest of it is on credit. So it's like broke people on Klarna and rich people. Rich is even the wrong word. It's people that think they're extra rich, richer than they are, because of how good their real estate and stocks are doing. Not knowing that if those were to deflate, they would actually find themselves in a rougher spot. But those two things have kept us inflated for a lot longer than
according to Atlanta Fed's latest estimate, year-on-year consumer spending growth is basically zero, down from about 2% last year. This is consistent with other data we've seen from the University of Michigan.
Atrioc spending $40 for a pack of Sour Patch Kids and 6 liquid deaths. That, but unironically. I'm doing my part for the economy. Not only am I buying at absurd prices consumer goods to keep things going, but I'm usually paying someone to deliver it. I'm 2 for 1, and I have to put a tip on because I'm a streamer. So if somebody takes a photo of my fucking tip and it's bad, so I'm propping the economy up, dude. But I can't do it for much longer. Thank you for the raid. This is my raid song, the 3-year Raider song. Thank you. Thank you. Hopefully that was angelic enough for you. All right, continue.
And the Conference Board, who run the 2 most popular surveys of consumer sentiment in the US. The University of Michigan's monthly survey, for instance, found that consumer sentiment dropped steeply in February, largely because consumers' inflation expectations, i.e. how much they expect prices to rise over the next 5 years, are currently the highest they've been since 1995. The Conference Board survey
Wow.
found a similarly steep decline in consumer confidence in February, in large thanks to a steep decline in their so-called expectations index, which is based on consumers' short-term outlook for income, business, and labor market conditions. Somewhat ominously, the Conference Board survey notes that for the first time since June 2024, the expectations index was below the threshold of 80 that usually signals a recession ahead. Surveys of business confidence aren't much better either. The ISM Manufacturing Index, for instance, which basically measures how well American manufacturing companies are doing, found that US manufacturing stagnated in February and was only kept afloat by the front-loading of imports we mentioned earlier. What makes all of this even more precarious is that an ever-increasing fraction of consumer spending is being driven by the richest Americans. According to analysis by Moody's, the top 10% of earners now account for an unprecedented 50% of consumer spending. Given that overall consumer spending is stagnant and the bottom 90%
not pre-watched,
not
pre-watched, pre-learned.
This implies that 90% of Americans are already basically in a recession. One of the other consequences of this is that it means that the stock market actually really matters. Usually when people say that the stock market isn't the real economy, they're right. But when the richest Americans are keeping the American economy afloat, the stock market does sort of become the economy. Because rich Americans hold a lot more money in stocks, which means that stock market declines, like the ones we've seen recently, are more likely to discourage them from spending, potentially pushing the US into a recession.
Stocks only go up, though.
Now, not all of this is down to Trump. At least some of the consumer spending that we saw over 2022 and 2023 was driven by savings accumulated during the pandemic, which have now run out. But all of the surveys we just mentioned cite tariffs, or at least the threat of tariffs, as a big reason for waning confidence. And they're definitely the main reason that consumers and businesses are anticipating higher inflation. This has also shown up in polling. Because while Trump's net approval numbers aren't appalling, his economic numbers, which...
Hey, who said this? 17 hours ago, Donald Trump approval rating goes negative for the first time in presidency. Oh, nobody will ever change their mind. His fans are incapable. And the fucking damage hasn't even hit, bro. Go watch the predictions video again. Literally, it's happening according to fucking plan, bro. This stuff will not be popular. People change their mind in America all the damn time. That's all right. We get real mad about something, then we get mad about something else. People change all the time, and they're going to change their mind on this. If you lose your job or your 401k goes down, people will change their mind so fucking quick. It's crazy. Your head will spin.
used to be a strong point for him, are actually pretty terrible. Gallup just registered Trump's worst ever net approval rating for his handling of the economy at -12, while Ipsos found that it had fallen from +4 in January to -8 in February. And
it's worth noting, listen, there's a thing, I don't know what the term for it is, but for the first basically 30 days of your presidency, not just in America, but anywhere, it's like a honeymoon period. It's like almost no mistakes even matter. It's very hard to have people give you a lot of benefit of the doubt in the first 30 days. You can do almost anything. As we get out of that, people's anger will only dramatically rise. Dramatically. So just understand that, like, it's not crazy. People think about it like it's so crazy. Everyone's going to change their mind. People's going to change their fucking mind.
+4 in January to -8 in February. And this brings us nicely to another major issue, inflation, which is proving frustratingly sticky. Year-on-year inflation has actually risen quite steadily from its September low of 2.4% to 3% in January. And Trump's tariffs will probably make things even worse by making imports more expensive.
No, not probably.
This will probably require further interest rate hikes from the Federal Reserve, or at least fewer cuts, which might explain why Trump's team, including Elon Musk, have started taking shots at the Fed. The final thing we want to mention is the national debt. And this was always a risk with Trump. After all, during the campaign, he said that he wanted tax cuts without committing to any significant spending reductions to match them. there was some hope that maybe Doge will be able to find sufficient savings to keep things balanced. But this really no longer looks plausible. Doge's own figures admit that they've only saved a few $1 billion, which is negligible in the context of a $7 trillion budget.
Bro, I keep saying this, and I keep getting people being like, well, it all adds up. Every penny counts. Like, bro, it really doesn't. It really does. If you're not going to do any serious cutting, it doesn't actually matter. It's like it's political theater. It's such a cop-out argument to be like, well, every penny counts. You know, it's like, no, dude. The cuts need to be significant in the four main areas to have any serious impact. And especially if you're going to cut taxes at the same time.
And especially when the most recent Republican budget proposal, which Trump endorsed, looks to add at least another $2 trillion to the deficit over the next 10 years. Well, US borrowing costs have actually stayed pretty low recently. This is mainly because investors are anticipating economic turmoil and buying up treasuries as a safe asset. And assuming that the US can't borrow infinite amounts of money, this is ultimately unsustainable. All in all, while it's probably too early to say anything definitive, the American economy is looking...
I will say this, though. I got to give credit where credit's due. When you create a more unstable globe, people tend to flock to American treasuries, aka our IOUs, more than anywhere else. And as Trump has created a more unstable globe, our borrowing costs have remained low because there's a lot of demand for... Not low. They're not low as they need to be, but lower than our peer countries because everyone wants to buy American IOUs. Borrowing costs for example, Germany or France or European countries skyrocketed today as they announced the big remilitarization plan where they're going to borrow a bunch of money. There's less demand. There's less demand to buy European debt because they're more worried they won't pay it back. Anyway, worth
the
saying.
shakiest it has for some time now.
If you could enact one economic policy, what would it be? I think it would be some sort of streamer tax holiday where streamers could declare their income tax-free. I feel like that would be one of the greatest ways to get our economy back on track. I think that would be, if I could have one economic policy, yeah, I would probably get rid of Citizens United. I think that would be I think the root problem is all the money in politics because then politicians can't fairly write rules and regulations. So to give them the ability to do their job without bribery, I'd have to find a way to get money out of politics. If I had to fucking pick one. But I think there's many. There's a lot of things we could do. No tax on subs.
If you didn't know, Too Long is our regular physical magazine, with our next issue diving deep into the people who control...
It's a magazine ad at the end? Holy shit. It's a long magazine ad. Raise your hand if you don't read magazines in the year 2025. Okay, those two guys are with me. Anyway, good video. I like those guys. TLDR. Let's watch House. Huh? Any House frogs in chat? If you are new here or you don't know that we do this, we occasionally watch episodes of the old show House MD because it's really fun with chat. And right now we are in the prime season. We are in the final season, and it's been the best one in a long time. It's just fun. It's a little silly, but it's fun. And it's a good throwback to the early 2000s. So you get to see like some real early 2000s shit. This episode's called Risky Business. Risky Business. It aired October 30th, 2011. The #1 song when this episode aired was still Someone Like You by Adele.
Hate to turn up out of the blue, ain't lie.
This song really ruled the charts in 2011. And the number one movie, hopefully it's not Real Steel again. The number one movie was the first Puss in Boots.
You may know my name, but you do not know the legend. I protect the innocent.
We owe everything to him.
And in my brave and noble quest for justice, nothing will distract me.
Damn, is it just because of the sequel, or does this movie feel like it was not that long ago? 2011 is 14 years ago. This does not feel that long ago. I feel like I can remember seeing this movie, like when it came out. Is that crazy?
Oh.
Maybe it's because of the sequel that I like feel.
Murderous outlaws have discovered an ancient power. With it, they can destroy the world.
Puss, can you help us? There's no time to waste.
I will do it.
I mean, that's just good comedy. Anyway, that was the number one movie. That was the number one song. It's clearly a 2000s time. And now we're going to watch the episode from the day that stuff was topping the charts. But first, I'm going to close Photoshop. I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to close all of these tabs. I'm going to close all of these tabs, and hopefully it doesn't lag, because I really have to do this in Chrome because it has my fucking account. Close. Never mind off. I can't sing. I tried not even to hit a high note, to hit a medium note, dude. My throat hurts just trying to fucking... That's crazy. How does she do it? How does she do it? I couldn't imagine.